Beth Brown at Griffin Art, coming to you from deep in the heart of West Texas with a process video. And I am telling you guys, if you could see my camera rig up today, you would die. It is hysterical, and it involves duct tape. So that's what I've got. I have some other things on order that I think are going to allow me to shoot from overhead, so I'm working on it. But I wanted to do a process video because I haven't done one in a long time, and I only have one other one on my channel where I'm talking. I'm working in a Canson mixed media spiral bound journal. The size is about 5.5 by 7. It's my favorite, and I'm working on a flat, clean sheet over here to my right. Up here I have a stack of paper that I want to use up. Yesterday I did a project where I was using some blues, and I wanted to use up some of this blue paper today because I'm feeling it. I think it looks nice. I'm going to use some of the straight edges where I've torn and just kind of collage these papers onto my surface with golden regular gel matte. You can use fluid matte medium, you can use Collage Podge, you can use Mod Podge, you could use regular glue, you can use whatever you want to stick these down. I'm using my trusty favorite craft brush from Michaels, and I'm just going to dip right in the jar and get started. You can lay your papers down like so and lift and adhere and as you go along, or you can lay down the gel medium all at once and then lay it down. I'm just doing this for time's sake, and if it gets too boring, I'll time lapse, speed up this. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I liked these blues. I used these blue sheets on a different page. Oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. A work page yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and go over the top with it as well. When you go over the top like this, it's just going to seal it into your paper a little better and allow you to put wet media on top without the paint or whatever you're going to put on top of it soaking down into the paper. So, for instance, if you wanted to put a glaze over this, if you were going to add modeling paste through a stencil, and if you were going to glaze, you could do that without having to having your paint and stuff soak back into the paper. I almost stuck the paintbrush in my mouth to continue talking. I do that a lot. So, I didn't. I set it down over here on my rag. And for my rags, I use old cloth diapers that my daughter didn't actually use these. She was potty trained before she used them, but they're wonderful, and they're nice and absorbent, and they look kind of cool when you get all the junk and paint and stuff on them. So there are those, and you don't have to be precise. I'm not being precise because I'm probably going to tint the edges when I'm done. I'm going to stick that back in the water for a minute and reach up here. I've got some map here that's got some of that blue in it, and I've got a corner that'll hit the edge nicely. I don't tear carefully unless I'm looking for specifically to meet the edge of my page, which I didn't want a deckled edge on the edge this time. That's really popular though, to glue your paper down like it's falling off the pages there and there, and to sort of tear it. I'll tear those because it was longer and I wasn't quite paying attention to what I was doing at that moment. And we're just adding the matte gel. I have a piece of wax paper between my pages to protect the page underneath it, which is kind of not 100% necessary. Some people like to get their art journal kind of all junked up. I have one that I do that with. This one is not it. And it doesn't do 100% of a great job protecting the page underneath it. Some stuff is always gonna get over there in my experience, because the form of art journaling is so free flow. I don't try to be as precise as I would with other things, with other pieces or other stuff, because these are pretty much just for me. And I share them on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram if you like. I'm under Gryphon Art, Gryphonart. Griffins are mythological creatures that were supposed to bring good luck. So that's where that came from. I need to fill up this middle a little bit. What else do I have? I want one that's different from these. This one's pretty different, but I've got all straight edges. I think I want this bluey section over here. These are supposed to be New York. I love New York City in particular. I am not from there. I, at one time, harbored the idea of a career in musical theater. And that did not happen. However, I did get a chance to do an internship in New York with a church for the completion of my undergraduate degree. And I made some wonderful friends there. I got to spend 4 months in Manhattan. I lived on the Upper West Side, and it was an experience that I would not trade for the world. I had a blast. I made some great friends, and I like to visit the city every couple of years if I have the chance. And I love talking to people about their first experiences there and suggesting things to see that are maybe not on the touristy trail. I'm sorry, my brush stroking is shaking my awesomely awesome camera rig. Okay, I need one more strip there. I think I'll use this one again because it's pretty far from the other piece of it. And that looks like it's going to be about the right length. Sometimes with these scrapbook papers, I'm tearing up 12 by 12 scrapbook paper if I didn't say that. Sometimes these papers are not inked all the way through and you'll get a white core. You can just peel that off or you can leave it. Maybe you like that. I don't know. If you like it, like it. I'm probably going to throw some paint over this too. So let's get this last piece down here. Here we go. And I'm not going to be worried about this little piece, this little triangle here. If you can see it, that's open because it's going to have some paint over it. Turn that off. Just collaging, working with paper here today. I like paper. I have to stop myself from buying more paper because I have so much paper. It's ridiculous, really. And I think that's good. I'm going to go, these are fairly dry. I'm going to go ahead and tear these as evenly as I can because I didn't want a deckled edge today. But it's okay if it's just a little bit. It's not a big deal. There we go. There. That's pretty nice. I'm going to dry that real quick. I'm using an ancient heat tool from Marvy. And I'm going to just going to dry it until the shine goes away. Still pretty wet. You have to be careful with heat tools like this. They tend to get too hot. So you want to keep it a decent distance away. These are really made for embossing. Oh. Maybe I feel like embossing today. That's a good idea. I don't do that very often anymore. There we go. That's fairly dry. Go ahead and put the lid back on this gel medium. I set the gesso out, but I didn't even use it. So the only bad thing about tearing all of that paper is that you're left with a bunch of bits that I don't save them if they're probably any smaller than that. These little bitty bitties, I let them go. And I think that's good. I think that's it for the paper. So I'm going to move it out of the way. Put that back in my drawer for another project. I like this. I like this a lot. For whatever reason, that blue was just really catching my eye today. But I still think I'm gonna push it back a little bit. I have a piece of palette paper here I'm gonna use. And I am gonna wind up using a little bit of this gesso. I mentioned in my art chew yesterday about making a video called A Better Way to Gesso. And now I'm gonna show it to you. So I've got my catalyst tool here, and I'm gonna dip it right in that gesso and just swipe it on the page. Kind of move it back and forth, and see, now I've got some gesso on there, and then I'm just gonna swipe it. Look at that. Oh, it's nice. Just pushing that back a little bit into the background. And I've still got sort of a, oh, I don't like the word distressed, shabby, worn looking background. And that's that. And then I just wipe it off here. And that's good. I'm even going to pull that back a little bit with a baby wipe. The most essential crafting tool on the planet is a baby wipe. Whether you're a painter or you make models or you scrapbook or whatever it is you do. See, I'm just going to pull that up a little bit. Just a little. Not too much. I could have even thinned that gesso down with some water, but I didn't. And because it's mixed media and we work in layers, I'm going to dry again. Just until the shine goes away. Won't take just a second. See? Quick and easy. There we go. And now that gesso is on there and it's pulled the background back even more. That's nice. That's nice. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Probably some stenciling. I have a big stack of stencils sitting up here. Move that gesso over so it doesn't get in the way. And because it's a city, I think maybe I'll do something a little more urban. I used this stencil back in my other video. This is a Donna Downey stencil. This is the mixed numbers repetitive. Yeah, I used this in my last video with gelato. See, it's still on there because I take such wonderful care of my stencils and clean them every time. I don't know that I want to do black. I think I'll go with gray. I have a bottle of, this is Apple Barrel gray acrylic paint. This is by the Plaid Company. I got this at Walmart, I think for $2. Pewter gray is the name of it. Although, sometimes the descriptive words they put into paint makes me laugh. It's just gray. And to apply it, I'm going to use a makeup applicator. Big bag of them. Got these at the grocery store. Also essential to crafting that I didn't know about. I was still trying to use the spouncers that are on wooden sticks and stuff, and it wasn't happening. Where do I want these? I think I'm going to come down from the corner here. So I'm going to let it fall off the page a little bit and pick up some of that paint. You want to make sure that your makeup sponge is not too juicy. Otherwise, it kind of slips underneath your stencil. And I'm going to go in with a fairly light hand. Just coming across here to fill in that corner. See, I got a juicy spot. It might go underneath, but that's okay. We can pick that up. Just about like that. I think that's good enough. Oh, hey, that turned out really nice. That turned out really nice. Do I want to add a little more? I think I'm going to come up from this bottom corner as well, but I'm going to move over so I don't get exactly the same numbers. And again, I'm going to let it fall off the page. Like so. Oh, that's too wet. That would have been not good. All right, let's try this. See how it goes. Just a light touch. Nothing too heavy. Catch the bottom piece of that 4. Okay, other side of the 8 there. Oh, I like the way that turned out. I like the way that turned out quite a bit. Maybe we'll add some more stenciling. That was fun, and it worked out well. And regular people would go and wash their stencils right away. I am not that person. I think I have a brick stencil. That might be kind of fun to go with the urban theme here. I believe it's here in my folder. This little set of stencils came from Faber-Castell. They are just cardstock, craft cardstock. They're not very heavy at all. Arrows and eyeglasses and banners and more banners. There's the brick. I knew I had one. There's also some fleur-de-lis, some little frames, butterflies, and keys. So you can see which ones I have and haven't used. I don't even remember where I got those. And I don't want to use the gray. I don't think. I like this peak of brick burgundy color. And I don't know if I have a burgundy. Oh, I do. Hold on. Looky there. This is Americana, which is by Deco Art. It's got the gold cap, so I know it's okay for fine art and that it's going to dry matte. This is Alizarin Crimson. Oh, that may be a touch brighter than I want. What happens if we mix it with the gray? Let's see. Let's just mix them together. Is that gray going to take it down a little? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bingo. All right. Let's have the brick. Maybe just down from those numbers. Again, I'm going to let it fall off the page. Not going to be real heavy-handed. I want it to be sort of light. And these stencils are really wide, so I have to watch myself. Oh, hey. That's cool. I like that. Let's go up here. Get a little bit. Grab a little more of that gray, a little bit more of that Alizarin Crimson. We're just going to mix them. Just like that. And I'm going to let it fall off the page. I'm going to start here. Just a light hand. Just kind of letting it go wherever it wants to go. I think that's good enough. Let's see. Hey, hey. I'm getting more excited about this by the minute. All right. All right, all right, all right. That was Wooderson from Dazed and Confused, in case you guys didn't know. Got my black coconut iced tea. Well, that's good. Okay. I want to bring some of this teal back in. And I think I want to do the edges with it. And to do that, I'm just going to use my fingers and frame it in. Maybe some splatters, maybe some ink splatters with the teal would be exciting. I know that I'm going to write over here or put some sort of sentiment saying here. Probably it's a friendly town. That's a funny story that I could tell you. After my internship in New York, I went back to visit with my friend Jennifer. And Jennifer found a postcard that said, New York is a friendly town. And we laughed and laughed at that. And so maybe I'll have it say, it's a friendly town. This is a Martha Stewart craft paint. It's a multi-surface paint, so it's probably going to be a little more glossy. It's probably going to be not something that I would want to paint a canvas with or do any kind of big project with, but I think it'll work for the edges, and that blue is looking really nice. What is this color name? Pool. That's perfect for me. How many of y'all are ready for summer? Ooh, I'm ready for summer. I love summertime. I love to go swimming. I love to have cookouts. I'm a big, big baseball fan. And I'm just going to grab a bit of that on my finger and take it around the edges. See, there's a piece of paper that didn't really lay down that well. I don't care. It's my art journal. Gonna bring it in at the corners. And keep going on around. I don't know if I want to do that inside edge or not. Might as well. Just frame it in with the blue. And this may not dry quite as fast as the fine art paints did. That's okay. And it is really glossy. Yeah. That was before I knew better. But anyway, it's a nice color and it's working well. Okay. I'm about done. Tell you the truth. Need to put my sentiment in there. It's a friendly town, the Big Apple. Yeah, New York is a friendly town. And since I've been doing a lot of writing and stuff lately, a friend yesterday asked me, do I write all of my own things? Do I stamp them? I use a combination. And I think that's what I'll do today, is a combination. And I want to write the word New York. And to do that, I'm going to grab my trusty pencil jar and see what I want to use. Don't want to use the Feud brush pen. No, that leaks all over me. This is Faber-Castell Pit Pen in the soft chisel. But there is almost no chisel. I think I'm going to go with the Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll in black. And so we'll do New York in script right about here. That. I got some of that blue paint on me because it's not dry. And then I'm just going to broaden wherever was a downstroke. Okay, this is not rocket science. This is not anything that is difficult. I first learned this trick by watching Cece, who I'm sure all of you know, Creation Cece. And this part of the N was also a downstroke, but I don't want it to be too thick. I'm just going to start about here and broaden it out like that to where it's thicker at the bottom. And then I just fill it in. There are tons of videos on YouTube about they call this modern calligraphy, and I just call it modifying my regular handwriting, which isn't that awesome anyway and can use all the help it can get all the time. And people get nervous about writing with an audience. So I'm going to stop talking and I'll time-lapse this section, speed it up. But all I'm going to do is go through and thicken the downstroke. There you go. And then you've got some nice hand lettering that looks like it took a long time for you to do, and it really didn't. Take it this way you can see it a little better. And I think I'm going to stamp the words "is a" underneath it. To do that, I'm going to use an archival black ink pad and a miniature stamp set. Alpha stamp set. Who are these by? Hampton Art. Never heard of them, but whatever. So we're just going to stamp those, and I have to hunt through this tiny square for the letters I want. And these are hard to ink without catching the square. There's an I. Where's an S? Right there. It's okay if it looks a little rough to me. I don't mind that. And the letter A. Then I'm going to write friendly. It's a little bit hard with the texture. The jelly rolls go right over this paint easily. I'm going to deepen those letters just like I did the first one. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the word town. Is that a T? No, that's an F. I need a T. This is ridiculous. T, where's a T? They're all there. Well, I'll do the other letters. Let's open that back up. O. W. And N. Still haven't located the T. And I'll put a period at the end just to be precise. Where's the T? So funny. I don't see it in here. So apparently New York is a friendly own. Is that it? And I'm just not seeing it? No. How do I have two F's? Oh, ha! There's the T. People don't hire me to think, okay? That's all I have to say. There. So I'm going to go ahead and deepen these letters. I'll time-lapse through that also because it's kind of tedious to talk through. And I want to concentrate on what I'm doing. And then I'll show you a finished product. There it is. Dot the I. I'm done. I might date stamp it. I might not. But there's my wax paper. Quick and easy art journal page. Used up supplies I had on hand. Had some paint I didn't know. We've got stenciling. We've got paint. We've got paper. We've got writing. Good enough for today. Hope you like it. Have a great day. Comments, likes, and subscribes are always appreciated. Go check out my website. I'll give you a full list of the supplies I used and maybe a picture or two. Thanks. Have a great day. And remember to give love.